Good morning, Michelle Saxman here, and ready to share with you some time with Jesus Calling by Sarah Young on August the 2nd. Just had to think for a moment about the sacrifice of time and the value. I've mentioned before, our energy is our greatest resource, and how we spend that energy is expressed through time. And then it also made me think for a moment about tithing and how if you just give to the Lord something that doesn't have value, it doesn't really have the heart value that He has intended. He asked us to give in the tithing in the Bible. It was like to give the best first tenth of your crop, the best of all your animals, the best of. And so He's asking for the best of our time. So sit for a moment and think about when you really feel that you are at your best. Some people are morning people, some people are evening people. And He says, bring to me your best. Offer it as a commodity, surrendering a possession. So acknowledging that one piece, and then this thing of sitting quietly in this action addicted world. And it's very difficult sometimes for us to find stillness in that external realm, but we can always train ourselves. That's what this is, a journey of self-awareness and acknowledging we can create this stillness within us regardless of our circumstances. My happiness does not depend on my external circumstances. It is an internal state of being and a choice. And He's asking us to choose to sit quietly, and then we will receive this stream of living water. And I mentioned that yesterday. That is the mantra for the month. We're going to get to that in just a moment. And then some other words I really wanted to sit and kind of let that kind of trickle in. Like we talked about, anxiety is a cascade, but His love, His peace, His joy, those two are cascades that change our cells. And it says glorify, delight, enjoy, now and forever. So that's the invitation for today on August the 2nd. And on to the readings. The first one is Psalm chapter 21, verse 6. Surely you have granted him eternal blessings and made him glad with the joy of your presence. And God is reminding us it is a two-way street there. We are going to receive the joy from spending time in His presence, but there is also a mystery that brings Him joy when we seek Him in the midst of this action-addicted world, and we're seeking peace and quiet with Him. The next reading is John chapter 7, verses 37 and 38. On the last and greatest day of the feast, Jesus stood and said in a loud voice, "If anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, as the scripture has said, streams of living water will flow from within him." And that is the gift, the mantra for the month, streams of living water. We can walk this earth, and I say we're dead in our shell. We are just overcome with burdens and anxiety and being stuck in the pit of muck and mire. And a few days ago, I guess I'll have to find that and reference that in the comments, but the reading that I did from the book behind me, Proof of Heaven, when this person's near-death experience, not only did they see the light and the presence and the core, but they also experienced the pit. And I really and truly do not want my thought life feeding that pit on this earth. The next reading is Psalm chapter 103, verse 11. For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is His love for those who fear Him. And I'm just going to refer to this as a reverent fear, not a condemning fear, but having this reverence. I was kind of contemplating something when Jesus calls me friend. He calls us His children. We're heirs to the throne. He calls us friend, and He allows us to kind of share in almost like this empowerment of His light and His love. But it is also to have reverence. But so great is that love beyond anything we can fathom in these limitations of our earthly human experience. Higher, wider, deeper, greater. The final reading is Psalm chapter 34, verse 3. Glorify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. And acknowledging there is nothing that can separate us from his love. That was the reading on the first, which was yesterday. Absolutely nothing. Nothing we do, we say, our past, our present, our future, uncertain circumstances, nothing can separate us from that. We are tethered in our heart directly to the center of his heart, his light, and his love. It is kind of like that anchor on this ship, and we're going to begin to drift less of a distance, and we're going to return more frequently to our center when we choose to sacrifice time, give it to him, allow him to begin transforming us, bringing joy and delight to us and to him as well. Y'all have a super blessed day. Stay connected to the vine, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.